Mind control has fascinated people for centuries, from ancient mystics who claim to influence thoughts to modern-day psychological studies that reveal how deeply human behavior can be shaped by suggestion. When people hear the phrase mind control, they often think of science fiction or sinister experiments, but the reality is far more subtle and much closer to our everyday lives. Mind control is less about dramatic hypnosis scenes from movies and more about the small, calculated ways that influence shapes decisions, emotions, and even beliefs. Understanding these secrets not only helps us protect ourselves from being manipulated, but also opens our eyes to how easily human thinking can be swayed. At the heart of mind control lies persuasion, the art of nudging someone toward a decision without them realizing the full extent of the influence. Think about advertising. Brands know how to create emotions through colors, sounds, and words. When you see a fast food ad showing juicy burgers with smiling people, your brain starts associating happiness with that product. This subtle connection is a form of mind control, steering your choices by tying them to emotional cues. It doesn't feel forced, which is exactly why it works so well. The more natural it appears, the stronger the psychological effect. Another powerful secret of mind control is authority. Humans are wired to respect and follow figures who appear knowledgeable, powerful, or trustworthy. A person in a lab coat, a confident speaker, or someone who demonstrates expertise often has more sway over opinions than a stranger without those signals. Studies in psychology show that people will follow instructions from authority figures even when they conflict with personal morals. This reliance on authority explains why influencers, leaders, and experts hold such immense power. If someone appears credible, many will accept their guidance without deeply questioning it. Repetition is another cornerstone of mind control. The more we hear something, the more likely we are to believe it, even if it's not entirely true. This is called the illusory truth effect. Politicians, advertisers, and even manipulators in personal relationships use this tactic all the time. By repeating the same idea, they slowly wear down resistance and implant the belief into the subconscious. Over time, the brain mistakes familiarity for truth. This is why slogans, repeated phrases, and consistent messages have such lasting impact. Emotional manipulation is one of the darker aspects of mind control. Fear, guilt, love, and even hope can be weaponized to influence behavior. When someone triggers fear, the logical brain often shuts down and survival instincts take over. This creates vulnerability, making people more open to guidance from the person who introduced the fear in the first place. Guilt can work in a similar way. By making someone feel responsible or ashamed, manipulators create pressure for compliance. Love and affection can also be tools, where manipulators withhold or give attention strategically to control the emotions of others. Scarcity is another trick deeply tied to human psychology. When people believe something is rare or available for only a limited time, the brain perceives it as more valuable. This taps into survival instincts, making us afraid of missing out. Marketers use this all the time, with phrases like limited edition or only a few left in stock. In personal situations, manipulators might use scarcity of time, affection, or opportunities to increase pressure. The underlying principle is simple. The less available something seems, the more desperate we become to secure it. Social proof also plays a critical role in mind control. Human beings naturally look to others for guidance, especially in uncertain situations. If a large group believes something, individuals are more likely to adopt the same belief. This is why reviews, testimonials, and crowds influence choices so heavily. Psychologically, we equate popularity with correctness. Manipulators use this by creating illusions of group agreement, sometimes exaggerating or fabricating support to sway opinions. When people feel like everyone else is doing something, they are far more likely to follow along without questioning. Anchoring is another subtle yet powerful technique. It involves presenting an initial piece of information that sets the stage for future decisions. For example, If you see an item priced at $500 and then discounted to $200, the $500 price acts as an anchor. Suddenly, $200 feels like a bargain, even if the true value is lower. Manipulators use anchoring in negotiations, marketing, and even personal arguments. By planting the first number or idea, they guide the way you evaluate every subsequent piece of information. Mind control also thrives on exploiting cognitive biases, the mental shortcuts the brain uses to process information quickly. These shortcuts often lead to predictable errors in judgment. For instance, confirmation bias makes people more likely to accept information that aligns with their beliefs while dismissing contradictory evidence. Manipulators exploit this by feeding information that aligns with someone's worldview, reinforcing their beliefs and making it harder for them to see alternative perspectives. By working with the brain's natural tendencies instead of against them, manipulators make their influence nearly invisible. One of the most profound secrets of mind control is how much of it relies on the subconscious mind. Much of human decision-making happens below the surface, guided by associations, habits, and emotions we don't always recognize. This is why small cues like body language, tone of voice, or even certain smells can influence mood and behavior without conscious awareness. Manipulators who understand how the subconscious works can plant seeds that grow into decisions people think they made freely, when in reality they were carefully nudged toward that outcome. Understanding these secrets doesn't mean you'll become immune to them overnight, but awareness is the first step to protecting yourself. By recognizing when persuasion, repetition, fear, scarcity, and authority are being used, you gain the power to pause and question before reacting. Instead of blindly following emotional triggers or subconscious nudges, you can take control of your own decisions and maintain your independence of thought. The truth about mind control is that it thrives in the shadows, working best when unnoticed. By shining a light on its methods, we weaken its hold and empower ourselves. If you want to continue exploring the hidden forces that shape human behavior and uncover more about the psychology of influence, persuasion, and manipulation, make sure you don't miss future insights. Subscribe to Dark Psychology.